Hello! Today I'll be talking about Voltorb, the first Pokemon in the triple digits. If one wishes to consider Hisuian Voltorb, Pokemon number 100, that version is the first electric grass Pokemon. Its previous PYC dates are June 5th, 1996, March 27th, 1999, January 15th, 2002, November 5th, 2004, August 27th, 2007, June 17th, 2010, April 7th, 2013, January 27th, 2016, November 17th, 2018, and September 7th, 2021. I like that Voltorb is basically just a Pokeball without the middle part. I find Hisuian Voltorb a little weird since it's my understanding that Voltorb is a man-made Pokemon that fuses the electricity of a power plant with the electricity of a modern Pokeball. But I understand why they wanted to base a Pokemon on the new, old Pokeballs in Legends Arceus. I also don't hate the design, and think it's rather clever, despite the inconsistency with the original lore. Let's get into the Bulbapedia article and see if we can't find out more about the lore inconsistency. Hello, and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Voltorb. As non-Hisuian Voltorb, it's the Fall Pokemon, and as Hisuian Voltorb, it's the Sphere Pokemon. Its number is 0-100. That's the first time I'm saying not 2 zeros in a row, because it's our first triple-digit Pokemon. That's exciting. So this is Voltorb. This is what it looks like. This is Hisuian Voltorb. This is what it looks like. Types, as non-Hisuian Voltorb is just electric, but as Hisuian Voltorb, it's electric grass. Abilities, soundproof or static. And Aftermath is its hidden ability. Gender ratio, gender unknown. Catch rate is 190 or 35.2%. Breeding, a group mineral. Hatch time 20 cycles. Height is 1 foot 8 or 0.5 meters. Weight, as non-Hisuian Voltorb, is 22.9 pounds or 10.4 kilograms, and as Hisuian Voltorb is 28.7 pounds or 13 kilograms. Base experience yield is 103 in the first 4 gens and 66 in 5+. Leveling rate is medium fast. EV yield is 1 in speed. Shape is that. It doesn't have feet, so it has no footprint. Pokedex color is red. Base friendship is 70. Voltorb is an electric type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves into Electrode starting at level 30. In Hisui, Voltorb has a dual type electric/grass regional form. It evolves into Hisuian Electrode when exposed to a leaf stone. Biology, Voltorb is a spherical Pokemon that resembles a buttonless Pokeball with eyes. The top half is red while the bottom half is white. Because of its resemblance to Pokeballs, it is thought that it was created when one was exposed to an energy pulse. This is supported by the fact that its components do not occur naturally. Voltorb is generally found in power plants and other areas with electric fields, where it feeds. It was first discovered in the plant where modern Pokeballs were invented. It has a volatile temperament and will explode if agitated or bumped by the slightest contact. Due to constantly being mistaken as a Pokeball, Voltorb has reportedly zapped many humans as a result. Aww. Forms. Voltorb has a regional form, Hisuian Voltorb. Hisuian Voltorb, like its modern counterpart, resembles the apricorn-made Pokeballs of the time period. Both appear to be made of a grainy wood-like substance with a glossy surface and a hole on top. On the inside, Hisuian Voltorb's body contains numerous seeds, but has been impossible to examine its interior due to it being pitch black. Hisuian Voltorb has a distinctive red wooden unibrow. Despite its resemblance to a Pokeball, it can be inferred that Hisuian Voltorb's existence predates the device's invention, as evidenced by the fact that the ancient hero of Hisui legend has an Electrode companion, which would become the ancestor of the region's noble Electrode. Interesting. Hisuian Voltorb can store electric currents in its belly, which it discharges all at once from its hole. Unlike Cantonian Voltorb, Hisuian Voltorb have friendly and excitable temperaments, which leads them to cluster around people, causing them to be a nuisance when they discharge. It is known to let out a great, uproarious laugh whenever it discharges. There are stories of people temporarily plugging the hole of Hisuian Voltorb to prevent them from discharging before removing them from their settlements. Evolution, Voltorb evolves into Electrodes, you can see that here. Voltorb, Electrode. Hisuian Voltorb evolves into Hisuian Electrode. So you can see that here, Hisuian Voltorb, Hisuian Electrode. You can also see the electric inside and grass outside. Game data, NPC appearances, Pokemon Pinball. 3 Voltorb appear on the red table and give the player points when hit. When Catch-em mode is activated, they also reveal the silhouette of the Pokemon attempting to be captured upon being hit. Pokemon Magikarp Jump, a Voltorb may appear as part of the Is It Treasure event, where it will explode and thereby force the player's Magikarp to retire. Pokedex entries in Gen 1 in red and blue, Usually found in power plants, easily mistaken for a Pokeball, they have zapped many people. Yellow. It is said to camouflage itself as a Pokeball. It will self-destruct with very little stimulus. Stadium. Usually found in power plants. In some instances, they have been seen drawing power from the trolleys of electric trains. Gen 2. Gold. It rolls to move. If the ground is uneven, a sudden jolt from hitting a bump can cause it to explode. Silver. It was discovered when Pokeballs were introduced. It is said that there is some connection. Crystal. During the study of this Pokemon, it was discovered that its components are not found in nature. Stadium 2 is golds again. Gen 3, Ruby. Voltorb was first sighted at a company that manufactures Pokeballs. The link between that sighting and the fact that this Pokemon looks very similar to a Pokeball remains a mystery. Sapphire. Voltorb is extremely sensitive. It explodes at the slightest of shocks. It is rumored that it was first created when a Pokeball was exposed to a powerful pulse of energy. Emerald. It bears an uncanny and unexplained resemblance to a Pokeball. Because it explodes at the slightest shock, even veteran trainers treat it with caution. Fire Red. A life form whose identity is unknown. It is said to screech or suddenly self-destruct. Leaf Green is very similar to Red and Blues, but slightly different, so I'll read it. Usually found in power plants, easily mistaken for a Pokeball, it has zapped many people. In Gen 4 and Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it looks just like a Pokeball. It is dangerous because it may electrocute or explode on touch. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are their gold and silver counterparts. In Gen 5, Black and White is the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinums. Black 2 and White 2 are very similar, but slightly different, so we'll read it. It looks just like a Pokeball. It is dangerous because it may electrocute or explode on contact. In Gen 6, X is the silver entry. Y's is the leaf green entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're Ruby and Sapphire counterparts. The Gen 7 Pokedex entry is Yellow's entry. In Gen 8, for non-Hisuian Voltorb, that entry is its Diamond and Pearl counterpart. For the Hisuian Voltorb in Legends Arceus, an enigmatic Pokemon that happens to bear a resemblance to a Pokeball. When excited, it discharges the electric current it has stored in its belly, then lets out a great uproarious laugh. In Gen 9, Scarlet is the gold entries. Violet is very similar to Leaf Green and Y's, but slightly different, so we'll read it. It's usually found in power plants, easily mistaken for a Pokeball. It has zapped many people. Here we got Voltorb in the Paldea Pokedex. It's at night. We can see 3 of them. That's pretty cool. They seem to be in some sort of square. I think it's maybe the center of the main area, that like the school grounds or whatever. I don't know exactly why it's night and why they're just hanging out here, but I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with this Pokeball symbol. I don't know. Maybe I'll learn in the games. But anyway, game locations, side game locations, events, held items for non-Hisuian Voltorb. Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be traded to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. So in red, blue, and yellow, you get a berry 100% of the time, gold, silver, and crystal. You get a PRZ Cure Berry as an in-game trade 100% of the time. In Pokemon XD, Gales of Darkness, you get a magnet 100% of the time. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you get a Cherry Berry as an in-game trade 100% of the time. Hisuian Voltorb in Legends Arceus, of course. Normal, you get Castor Fern 35% of the time, Ball of Mud 15% of the time, and Great Items by level. For Alpha, you get EXP Candy S 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 10% of the time, and Great Items by level. Still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats for Voltorb: HP 40, Attack 30, Defense 50, Special Attack 55, Special Defense 55, Speed 100, for a total of 330. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 55. For Hisuian Voltorb has the same base stats as Cantonian Voltorb due to the different way stats are calculated in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Exact minimum and maximum stats are not shown in this table. Pokéthon stats: type effectiveness for non-Hisuian Voltorb is damaged normally by normal, fighting, poison, rock, bug, ghost, fire, water, grass, psychic, ice, dragon, dark, and fairy. Hisuian Voltorb keeps normal, fighting, rock, ghost, psychic, dragon, dark, and fairy, poison, bug, fire, water, grass, and ice. So it's damaged normally by normal, fighting, flying, ground, rock, ghost, psychic, dragon, dark, and fairy. Non-Hisuian Voltorb is weak to ground for double. Well, Hisuian Voltorb is weak to poison, bug, fire, and ice for double. Neither are immune to anything. Voltorb is resistant to flying, steel, and electric for half, while Hisuian Voltorb is resistant to steel, water, grass, and electric, all for half except for electric for a fourth. Learn step by leveling up for Voltorb. 1 Charge and Tackle, 4 Thundershock, 6 Eerie Impulse, 9 Spark, 11 Rollout, 13 Screech, 16 Charge Beam, 20 Swift, 22 Electro Ball, 26 Self-Destruct, 29 Light Screen, 34 Magnet Rise, 37 Discharge, 41 Explosion, 46 Gyro Ball, and 50 Mirror Coat. For Hisuian Voltorb, get 1 Charge and Tackle, 4 Thundershock, 6 Stun Spore, 9 Bullet Seed, 11 Rollout, 13 Screech, 16 Charge Beam, 20 Swift, 22 Electro Ball, 26 Self-Destruct, 29 Energy Ball, 34 Seed Bomb and Discharge, 41 Explosion, 46 Gyro Ball, and 50 Grassy Terrain. By TM, for Voltorb, get 1 Takedown, 4 Agility, 7 Protect, 18 Thief, 23 Charge Beam, 25 Facade, 32 Swift, 47 Endure, 48 Volt Switch, 50 Rain Dance, 62 Foul Play, 70 Sleep Talk, 72 Electro Ball, 75 Light Screen, 82 Thunder Wave, 85 Rest, 87 Taunt, 96 Eerie Impulse, 103 Substitute, 126 Thunderbolt, 130 Helping Hand, 136 Electric Terrain, 147 Wild Charge, 166 Thunder, 171 Terra Blast, 173 Charge, 180 Gyro Ball, 204 Double Edge, 211 Electro Web, and 223 Metal Sound. For Hisuian Voltorb, you get 1 Takedown, 4 Agility, 7 Protect, 18 Thief, 23 Charge Beam, 25 Facade, 32 Swift, 47 Endure, 48 Volt Switch, 50 Rain Dance, 56 Bullet Seed, 62 Foul Play, 70 Sleep Talk, 71 Seed Bomb, 72 Electro Ball, 74 Reflect, 81 Grass Knot, 82 Thunder Wave, 85 Rest, 87 Taunt, 103 Substitute, 111 Giga Drain, 119 Energy Ball, 126 Thunderbolt, 136 Electric Terrain, 137 Grassy Terrain, 147 Wild Charge, 159 Leaf Storm, 166 Thunder, 168 Solar Beam, 171 Terra Blast, 173 Charge, 180 Gyro Ball, 194 Grassy Glide, 204 Double Edge, and 211 Electro Web. Lab reading for Voltorb, the Mirror Herb can give you Metal Sound or Recycle. For Hisuian Voltorb, the Mirror Herb can give you Leech Seed, Recycle, or Worry Seed. Side game data for Voltorb. So we got, okay. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. Using the electricity secreted within its body, Voltorb can recharge your styler. In Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Olmia, it lets loose bolts of electricity to attack. Beware, it may explode. In Guardian Signs, it causes explosions around itself. Got all this. Okay. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure in the Pokepark Pad entry. After hearing about the Haunted Zone, Voltorb just had to check it out. He's a real player at Dusknoir's Speed Slam. Pokepark 2, Wonders Beyond. He regards himself as a bodyguard of the tech area. He challenges suspicious Pokemon to a quiz. Aww. Okay, got all this. Yep. Hisuian Voltorb on Pokemon Go. Okay. Evolution data, Voltorb, so yeah, Voltorb level 30, Electrode. Hisuian Voltorb, Leaf Stone, Hisuian Electrode. Sprites, okay. Interesting. These are yellow and gold. I imagine, if depending on which version you're doing, these are probably like the base colors, but like the reds would probably look more like the Pokeball color, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's gold and yellow, but get the basics, you know. It's a pretty simple Pokemon. It'd be very difficult for them to mess it up, but like, yeah, it looks like a Pokeball basically. This gives like an orange, very similar to the red that we'll get soon here. This doesn't work because of the colors. Yep. Gen 2, so you got the red top and the white bottom. Then it's a blue top and a white bottom still. Actually looks to be a different kind of shade of white. That's interesting. Maybe a cream and a white. Yep. And yeah, this is a darker red and a darker blue, I think. Then, yeah, Gen 3, we get the, like the proper red and the sort of that blue, I guess it would be, and the white bottom properly for both of them now. Yeah, there probably isn't much different. The eyes might change size and stuff, but generally it probably is going to stay the same here. Okay, you got this. Yeah, not really much changes. Full back sprites in Gen 5. We got the models. I mean, this is arguably the easiest one to do. It's literally just a ball, and they just had to do textures for the line and the eyes. Like, you can't mess this one up. It's a little lighter now. Yeah, a little darker in the Let's Go games. So for Hisuian Voltorb here, we get to see its shiny is black with the sort of brown, I guess, same. So home here, you can see, compare them. See how it's like an orange instead of the red. See, obviously, more wood-like. Yep. It's black instead of blue, yep. In the anime, Voltorb in the anime. Shiny Voltorb in the anime, that's cool. This, yep. Okay. For Pokedex entries, this first one I've already recorded for the anime section, so we'll let Dexter read it.
Voltorb. The identity of this creature is unknown. It has an extreme personality, uses electric attacks, and at times self-destructs.
In episode 114, in Ash's Pokedex, Voltorb. This mysterious Pokemon uses strong electric attacks and is often found near power plants. Use extreme caution. Voltorb may explode without warning. In What I Assume is Journeys, episode 52, in Go's Rotom Phone, Voltorb, the ball Pokemon, an electric type. Voltorb appears in places where electricity is generated, and it resembles a Pokeball. Pokemon Origins, you get a Voltorb in Pokemon Origins up here with a Geodude and Eevee and Jigglypuff. Yeah, you got in the manga, Voltorb in Pokemon Adventures. Yep. This. The TCG. The TFG. Trivia: in the English and European versions of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, a game called Voltorb Flip is introduced in place of slot machines. The game is similar to Minesweeper and largely focuses on flipping over cards to multiply the coins currently earned. Some cards, however, have Voltorb on them, which will cause the player to lose coins when flipped. Voltorb has the lowest base attack stat of all electric-type Pokemon. According to Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Prima's official strategy guide, Voltorb is the only Pokemon recommended for the disc catch that is not a flying type. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Voltorb will explode if the player walks too close to it and the Voltorb notices them. That's a fun detail, I like that. The Shadow Voltorb in XD Gales of Darkness is missable if players lose to Meyer B in the first battle when he has the Voltorb in the Cave Pokespot, as there is not a flag to make it respawn unlike other Shadow Pokemon. This will lock the player out of catching Voltorb, and as snagging Shadow Dragonite requires snagging every other Shadow Pokemon, the player will be locked out of Dragonite too. Origin: Voltorb seems to be based on the concept of a living Pokeball, and is often mistaken for one. As such, its design is likely inspired by Gashapon capsules, which often consists of a white half and a vibrant colored half. The idea of Voltorb and Electrode being mistaken for the standard Pokeballs that represent items is similar to a Mimic, a monster archetype commonly found in RPGs. Shiny coloration is possibly based on a Great Ball. Voltorb may also be based on Ball Lightning, as hinted by its spherical shape, type, and explosive behavior. Given its tendency to explode and shape, it also shares similarities with common depictions of bombs. It may also be based on Zukumogami, where items acquire a spirit and come to life on their 100th birthday, which might be referenced by Voltorb's national Pokedex number, which is 100. The expression on both Voltorb and Electrode may be a personification of the positive and negative charges associated with electric charge. For the Cantonian forms, Voltorb has a negative, angry look, where Electrode has a positive, happy look. The polarity of these expressions or charges are reversed for the Hisuian forms. Hisuian Voltorb and its grass typing may be based on the fact that Pokeballs were originally made from apricorns, which may be based on Japanese chestnut or acorns. It may also be based on traditional Japanese fireworks. They are spherical in shape, with shells made of papier-mâché, charges inside that are often made with rice husks, and a hole where the fuse goes. The fact that it has numerous seeds inside its body may also be inspired by a seed ball, also known as a seed bomb, which are made by rolling various seeds with clay, forming a ball. The seed ball is then planted or thrown into the ground where vegetation is sparse, so that the seeds will germinate and grow. Hisuian Voltorb's shiny colorization may be based on an Ultra Ball or a Heavy Ball. Name origin: Voltorb may be a combination of Volt and Orb. Very likely. Biri-Ridama may be a combination of Biri-Biri, sound of electric shock, and Tama, sphere. In other languages, related articles, references, external links to the Hisuian forums. Let's move on. Since we already watched Voltorb's first scene in the Venonat video, let's watch Voltorb's second scene. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we're watching episode 32, The Ninja Poké Showdown. In this episode, Ash Ketchum and his traveling companions, Brock and Misty, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu, have wandered into this mansion. Ash has just been electrocuted, and he thought it was Pikachu, but it was not. Brock here is going to point out who the actual Pokemon that zapped him. And there's the Voltorb, the Pokemon that zapped him.
Voltorb. The identity of this creature is unknown. It has an extreme personality, uses electric attacks, and at times self-destructs.
Ooh.
This
That's
place
not good.
gets weirder and weirder.
That's Misty, the girl. That's Pikachu. Yeah, okay.
Where'd Venonat go?
Okay, so, oh yeah, and they followed the Venonat in. But yeah, that's Voltorb's first scene in the anime, so let's move on. Now let's talk about the TCG. I have two Voltorb cards, neither of which are Hisuian Voltorb. I'll start with the older one. It's the second Voltorb card design. It was illustrated by the late Kaiji Kinabuchi. I like the unique angle and the lighting. The brow is interesting since the only main games in CGI that model the brow are the Gen 9 games. Pokemon Home, the Pokepark games, and Pokemon Go also model the brow. Voltorb has 40 HP. It's 1 foot 8 and 23 pounds, which is 0.1 pounds heavier than its weight in the official Pokedex. It has one move, Tackle. On this card, it... Huh? What do you mean am I going to explain what Tackle is? Wait, we've gotten to the 100th Pokemon, not explaining what Tackle, the most famous move, is? I guess I should explain for those who don't know. Tackle is a normal type move introduced in Gen 1. It's the most famous purely by the fact that a large portion of Pokemon start with this move. It's a simple damaging move that is a good way to introduce the fighting mechanic to new players. On this card, it takes 1 of any energy and hits for 10 damage. Voltorb is weak to fighting for double damage. This seems to have been chosen, as ground is included in the fighting type. It has no resistance, but it could have been resistant to lightning type, as it's resistant to electric type in the video games. Its retreat cost is 1 of any energy. Its description reads, usually found in power plants, easily mistaken for a Pokeball. It has zapped many people. This is the Pokedex entry in Leaf Green, White. It's also similar to the Pokedex entry in Pokemon Red and Blue and Violet. Voltorb is level 10. In the video games, it's 20 levels from evolving into Electrode. The other card is the third Voltorb design. It was illustrated by Ken Sugimori. This is another instance of what would be me commenting on a boring image because it's the official art from Pokemon Red and Blue with a cool background if it weren't a cool piece of art. It's cool to see Voltorb from this angle. The background is also cool. This Voltorb has the same HP, height, weight, weakness, resistance, and retreat cost as the other one. The card has the Team Rocket expansion R symbol next to the weight. This Voltorb has one move, Speedball. This isn't a move in the video games. On this card, it costs 1 lightning energy and hits for 20 damage. Its description reads, usually seen only in power plants. It is sometimes seen in towns, apparently using the power lines to travel. This is an original description. I love imagining Voltorb traveling on power lines. It's a funny image. Voltorb is level 13, 3 levels higher than the other Voltorb. In the video games, it would be 17 levels from evolving into Electrode. Speaking of Electrode, I don't have a card for it, so the next Pokemon with a card I'll be talking about is Execute. Now let's see why people love Voltorb. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you familiar with the series, you might be wondering why we're on this single image. That's because it's the only image we'll be doing today. So this is Voltorb by Joshua Dunlop, this sort of more realistic Voltorb here. You can see all the different elements. It's pretty cool, the electricity coming off of it. We might have seen something like this in Detective Pikachu. I could definitely see that in the world. Yep. It's pretty cool. Let's move on. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight as I need to wait until I've talked about Snorlax before I can get to Voltorb. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Electrode. As always, this isn't my proper outfit and you'll see me tomorrow.